interesting lesson in our geography syllabus. Lesson 5, Using Maps. So this is the last lesson in geography syllabus grade 7. The main objective of this chapter is to provide basic knowledge about using a map book accurately and productively. First, we are going to look at what is meant by a map. What is meant by a map? Map means a diagram representation on an area of real land drawn to a scale using symbols and colors. What is meant by a map? A diagram representation on an area of real land drawn to a scale using symbols and colors. Why do we need maps? Maps represent the real world on a much smaller scale. They help you travel from one location to another. They help you organize information. They help you figure out where you are and how to get where you want to go. Maps use symbols like lines and different colors to show features such as rivers, roads, cities, or mountains. All these symbols help us to visualize what things on the ground actually look like. Maps also help us to know distance so that we know how far away one thing is from another. Who need the maps the most? Explorers like Ferdinand Magellan? Pilots, sailors, travelers, school students, and road drivers? Why do we need maps? Many uses for maps. You must be familiar with maps for many different reasons, such as driving, road maps, locating places, political maps, traveling, political or physical maps, researching, thematic maps, buildings, topographic maps, and just knowing where you are in relation to your surroundings, you need maps. What is the difference between map and a globe? A globe is a spherical model of Earth and three-dimensional, while a map is two-dimensional. The globe represents the whole Earth, whereas a map may represent the whole Earth or just a part of it. Using maps. When we study geography, we have to study a lot of information about the world. For that, it is necessary to refer to maps prepared under different themes. In an atlas, maps are included under different themes. At present, the maps have become a compulsory tool in day-to-day activities. Sri Lanka Atlas book, printed by the Survey Department of Sri Lanka, is one example for a map book in current usage. So this is a copy of the National Atlas of Sri Lanka, 2nd edition, printed by the Survey Department of Sri Lanka. Apart from this book, we have Lake House Sitiyampotha, Sarasavi School Atlas, Sri Lanka Road Atlas, Vijayapa School Atlas, and M.D. Gunasena School World Atlas. So these are well-known map books we use in Sri Lanka. The skills of identifying basic features like different types of map, direction, scale, key, and map index, and the skill of using a map book correctly can be received by referring to an atlas. Why we call it Atlas Map Book? An atlas is a book or collection of maps. Many atlases also contain facts and history about certain places. There are many kinds of specialized atlases such as road atlases and historical atlases. The term atlas comes from the name of mythological Greek figure Atlas. As punishment for fighting with the Titans against the god, Atlas was forced to hold the planet Earth and the heaven on his shoulders. Because Atlas was often pictured on ancient book of maps, this became known as atlases. And the skill of using a map book correctly can be received by referring to an atlas. Activity. Name other map books in use. As we discussed earlier, Sarasavi School Atlas Map Book, Lake House Map Book, Sri Lanka Road Atlas, Vijayapa School Atlas, and M.D. Gunasena School World Atlas are field books famous in Sri Lanka. Different types of maps. Different types of maps are included in an atlas. Following maps in Sri Lanka Setiyam Sangrahaya, Sri Lanka Atlas book, can be shown as examples. Relief and drainage map on page 11. What do you mean by relief and drainage map? The characteristics that are related to the landscape of specific area are known as relief features. For example, drainage system, also known as river systems, are the pattern formed by the streams, rivers and lakes in a particular drainage basin. What are topographic maps? Detailed record of a land area giving geographic position and elevation for both natural and man-made features are known as topographic maps. So, topographic maps are available on page 13. Types of maps. There are many different types of maps to show different types of information. But mainly, maps can be categorized into two types. These two types are described below. First one is thematic maps. A thematic maps is also called a special purpose, single topic or statistical map. And the second one, topographic maps. These maps are detailed record of a land area giving geographical position and elevation for both natural and man-made features. Thematic maps is also called special purpose, single topic or statistical map. For example, ethnic communities and religions of Sri Lanka, population density of Sri Lanka, land use and economic activities of Sri Lanka are some examples for thematic maps. Apart from that, relief and drainage maps, political maps and physical maps also under the thematic maps. Advantages of using thematic maps. Easy to grab the relevant information by looking at the map quickly. Easy to compare different thematic maps to get a general idea about a specific location. Easy to refer and understand educational, transport and tourism trends of a specific location. Easy to identify regional and spatial patterns of a location. Topographic maps. Topographic maps are a detailed record of a land area giving geographical positions and elevations for both natural and man-made features. There are a set of conventional signs used to indicate these features. They show the shape of the land, the mountains, valleys, and the plains by means of brown contour lines. The lines of equal elevation above sea level connected, and these lines are known as contour lines. In 1 to 50,000 topographical maps use different colors for different symbols. Blue, rivers, tanks, canals, seas and features linked to water. Yellow, to all home gardens. Green on yellow, the symbols relevant to different crop cultivations. Dark yellow, minor roads. Green, paddy cultivation. Red, main roads, administrative boundaries, railway stations, schools, courts and some cultural features. Black, railway lines, rock outcrop, boundaries of forest reservoirs and settlements. Brown, tank bunds and contour lines. Here, in 1 to 50,000 topographic maps, these are the standard conventional signs. For boundaries, we have set of lines. For tourist information, we have different symbols. For other features, roads, railways, vegetation, drainage and relief, there are set of symbols that we need to know. Advantages of using topographic maps. By using these maps, both natural and man-made geographical features can identify. You can get a general idea about the landscape, human settlements, relief features, and drainage system if you can recognize set of conventional signs. Lines of equal elevation or height above sea level can identify easily with the help of contour lines. Next, the physical maps or relief and drainage maps, which show us about the major geographical features like elevation, mountain ranges, oceans and lakes. Political maps. Political maps does not show physical features. Instead, they show state and national boundaries and capitals and major cities. This is the map book that I use for my students. Sarasavi School Atlas. So in this book, in the content page, there are two sections. Section 1 for Sri Lankan maps. Section 2 for world maps. In the content page, you will find the theme and the page number. In next activity, you have to prepare a table including different types of maps with page numbers which can be found in a map book you use. So according to the book that I use, type of map, relief and drainage of Sri Lanka, page number 12 and 13. Sri Lanka and South India, page number 9. Annual rainfall of Sri Lanka, page number 16. Natural vegetation and climatic zone, page number 18. District and provinces, page number 36. Local government, page number 37. World physical map, page number 38 and 39. Here are some examples of different thematic maps with page numbers. In page number 34, Sri Lanka history. In page number 28, Sri Lanka mineral resources. In page number 17, Sri Lanka climate. In page number 12 and 13, Sri Lanka physical map or the relief and drainage map. Basic features of a map. So first we are going to discuss about direction. Showing the direction on any map is compulsory, but figure of direction is not shown on some maps in map book. On such occasions, the direction where the heading of the map is shown is considered as north and other directions are determined accordingly. A map can be oriented accurately when the direction of the map are set correctly to the corresponding direction of the map area. Accordingly, from the place where you stay, the direction of the place marked on the map can be identified correctly. There are two directions that you need to know. Cardinal directions are north, south, east and west. Intercardinal directions are northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. The earth rotates around a north-south axis as you see on right. Most maps show north at the top and south at the bottom. To the left is west and to the right is east. In order to describe any map, you need to know cardinal and intercardinal directions. By using them, you will be able to describe map with more details. For example, in this map, the river starts somewhere close to north and ends at east. Scale, another basic feature of a map. It is impossible to draw all the things found on the land at the same size on the map. In map book, scale of each map is given. According to the scale, the size of the map too is changed. The difference among the scale could be understood further when the scale of wall map in the school and the scale found in map books are compared. According to the need, the map drawn may be larger or smaller. The topographic map of Sri Lanka drawn by the Survey Department of Sri Lanka is drawn to the scale of 1 to 50,000, representing 50,000 centimeters on land by 1 centimeter on map. The larger a scale is, the smaller will be the number in the scale. For example, 1 to 10,000 scale map is said to have a larger scale than 1 to 100,000 scale map. Large scale map shows a small area with lots of details. Good for urban areas, town, streets or hiking. Example 1 to 10,000 maps. Large enough to see details. And next, the small scale map. Show large area with very little detail. Good for world maps or large regions such as North America. Example 1 to 1 million maps. Too small to see details. By looking at this line, you will be able to identify why we use different types of scales. So in the first map, they use 1 to 100,000 scale, which is a small scale. By looking at this map, you will be able to identify it as a meander. Meander means a curve in a river. In this map, they have used 1 to 50,000 scale, which is a medium scale. By looking at this map, will you be able to identify it as a meander? You can identify only the curve of the river. In the third map, they have used 1 to 25,000 scale, which is a large scale. By looking at this map, will you be able to identify it as a meander? No. You can only identify it as a river which flew on land. A scale is the relationship between the measurement on a map and the measurement along the ground. A scale is used to reduce the real distance along the ground so that this distance may be drawn on a small sheet of paper. Every map has a scale, which enables us to understand how big something is in real life. For example, if the scale of the map was 1 centimeter equal to 1 kilometer, that means that a line on the map which is 1 centimeter long is showing something which in real life measure 1 kilometer, which is 1000 meters or 100,000 centimeters. A scale of 1 to 50,000 says 1 in 50,000 means that 1 centimeter measured on a map is equal to 50,000 centimeters along the actual ground. That is 1 centimeter equals to half a kilometer. Map scales are generally presented in 3 ways: a word statement, a ratio or representative fraction, a linear scale, also called a bar scale, scale bar, graphic scale or graphical scale. A word statement. This gives a written description of map distance such as 1 inch equals 4 miles or 1 centimeter equals to 10 kilometers. A ratio or representative fraction. A ratio or representative fraction indicates how many units on the Earth's surface is equal to 1 unit on the map. In this example, 1 centimeter on the map equals to 250,000 centimeters or 2.5 kilometers on the Earth. A linear scale, also called a bar scale, scale bar, graphical scale or graphic scale, means of visually showing the scale of a map at the bottom of the map. Bar scale. A bar scale is a picture that shows how far an actual distance will be when we take some measurements on a map. Thus, we can say 2 centimeters is equal to 10 meters. It means 2 centimeters is equal to 1000 centimeters, which means 1 to 500. Activity. Write scales found in different pages in the atlas book you use.